Hello, welcome back. I'm Julie Samaco, owner of Southern Charm Wreaths, where we teach you the art of wreath making and faux floral designing. We're going to be making a Christmas wreath. I know it probably is just now getting cooler where you're at least it is for me. And our leaves are just now starting to turn for fall. But believe it or not, we are already planning for Christmas here at Southern Charm Wreaths, trying to fill up our Etsy shop. And so I thought I would do a video with you showing you how I'm making one of my Christmas wreath designs using a traditional sign. This is a traditional Santa sign that I have already on here. And I was looking to see, this feels a little bit loosey-goosey. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one a little bit tightened up. So when you're watching us, I want you to tell me, where are you from? I like to see where everybody is from. Let me get the video up here, and so I can see comments. Okie dokie. There we go. We have Kansas City, awesome. And Texas, yes. All right, so let's see, Kansas City, how funny. I'll be in Kansas City tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna be going there tomorrow to visit my son who is living there. So we're gonna move the camera down a little bit so you can see better. I'm just going to see if I can figure out how to make this tighter. Let's see if I'm going in the right direction. Nope, I'm not. Love it. Let me go the other direction. This isn't working. Let me try this again. All these little grapevine pieces get in the way of the wire. So let me just cut those out. I think that's tighter. Yeah, that's better. Let me do the top one up here. So what is everybody up to? Is it fall there yet where you're at? And I was talking to somebody up north and they were like, oh yeah, it's been cold. And I'm like, really? We are still like almost 80s here. It is not cold in the south of the US. But our leaves are starting to look fallish. Okay, I think that's going to be better. Yep, that's tighter. All right, so here is the sign. It's a vintage Santa, and it's got little bits of holly. The sign has little pieces of, like these are glittered, and then we've got some glitter here and some glitter there. So I think you could have fit in a little bit of glitter. I think that would have been pretty to do in this, but let me show you some of the stuff that I pulled out to work with. I'm using a 4-inch ribbon on this one. It looks, we'll see if it's too big, but I don't think it will be. But look, it's got that mossy green and it's got the red, and I've got a 2.5-inch red to go with it. And then I've got the greenery that I'm using has got more of a lime green yellow undertone is what I'm trying to say. So it's got a little bit of a yellow undertone. This was what I wanted to pair with this sign is these little mini felt poinsettias. So there's a little pick with the felt poinsettias. I thought that color looked really pretty with the color and the green of our ribbon. And then just pairing greenery that goes with that. is what I did here. And then I have also some berries so that we can start to disperse some of that red too. And then also because y'all, if y'all follow me, you know how much I love multiple greenery. So we always do 3. So I brought over another one to mix in with that. All right. So here, let me get this out of the way. First thing I'm going to do is start with my bow. Might be too much greenery, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You can do as much or as little as you want for your wreaths. I know some people say I do too much, and then sometimes they say I don't do enough. And so I'm just here to inspire you to try something, you know, different with your wreaths. And to get started, not to feel afraid of the ribbon or afraid of the grapevine wreaths. Okay, so since this is a large ribbon, my thinking is just a couple of loops. I'm doing enough to balance my sign. So just like that. So that's sort of what I do to measure, all right, and to show you. So this is a 12-inch sign, 16-inch grapevine wreath, and I'm measuring out the loop. This is 16. Let's see what 14 looks like instead. Gotta have enough room for the fun stuff, like flowers. Yeah, let's do that. I think I'm going to do the 14. So this is 14. All right, 14, pinch and pleat and then twist. And then 14 on our mat. Take it away from me, pinch and pleat and then twist. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off of the bolt right there. All right, so we've got 2 loops. And then I'm going to do 2 loops of this. I'm going to go ahead and do 14. There's 1. Twist. And another 14-inch loop. All right, so we've got 2 loops. Now I'm just going to mix these up. Let's get some of that over there. Okay. And then now I'm going to move over and switch to this one. Let's just do, I don't know, 12 inches, I guess, on this. This will be like a little center part of the bow. How's that? All right, and I'm going to trim. And I'm going to get my wire and secure this with florist wire. You can use pipe cleaner, or you can use rustic wire, or you can use bind wire. You can use any wire you want to use. Bam. I like the florist wire. The 22 gauge is what I like to use, only because it goes through the grapevine wreath a little bit easier. Also, if you want to paint your grapevine wreaths, you can also spray paint them to give it more of a festive look. But this one feels more natural to me, so I think a natural base would be really pretty. Okay. Let's see, where do I want the bow to go? I don't want it to go this way because it's going to cut in front of my sign too much. Let's see if I can do it this way. I think right about here is good. And I'm going to push my wire through the grapevine. So if you're using pipe cleaner, sometimes it's a little tricky because it gets stuck in there. That's why I like my florist wire, but it doesn't have to be florist wire. So now we're just wiring on our bow. So I'm going to be using a lot of pine in this wreath just to give it a lot of softness and texture, and use it to create our foundation for our floral. Okay, so we've got our long, fatter ribbon going up and down, and then we'll do these going down this way, this bow that way. There's our center. Okay, and let's see if I can move this over this way. So I'm just fluffing my loops and moving the streamers in order to give my bow some shape. And I'm just going to fold these under right there. I'm going to go ahead and fold this. This is thick wire. It's enough to... Ow! I had a feeling that was going to happen. That's a weapon right there. And we'll do the same down here. Look at that. That's a wire. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We teach you, I knew I was going to do that. As soon as I saw that wire, I was like, oh, that's going to be dangerous. Let me find my tape so that I don't get any blood on the ribbon. See, it happens to the best of us, y'all. I learned this trick from my daddy, who was a picture framer. He never did Band-Aids because it would take too much time to go find that first aid kit. He would just wrap it in the tape. Just need enough to not bleed on the product. All right, so we got that curled under, and we're going to do this one. Okay, and then this one. So now we've got our bow on and all of our deadly wire cut off. So it's just like that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this up on my wreath making easel so you can see what we're doing. Let's see here. How do I want this? I think like that. Okay, so let me drop this down a little bit. I think right there is what I want. Okay. And then roll and roll. So now what we're going to do is put over some, let's get some of our greenery. I found this one that I liked. It had some deeper green and then a little bit of lime tip on the edge. So it makes it look real. You know what I mean? It makes it look real. Oh no, Cindy had a burn. Oh, I hate that. Those burns take forever to heal. Since I've been using my glue pot, I don't have any burns, so I have to like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of these off. So let's cut here and here. I'm going to go ahead and trim that little piece off. We'll use it in the bow somewhere. Okay, and then here is what we have left. And of course, y'all have to bend these to make them look real. I think that's, see how much, this just looks a lot more fresh looking, you know, than something that's flat. And we're going to trim this. This is a thick stem. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the second one the same way. And then let's cut this one on this side. Oh my gosh, this is thick, thick, thick. All right, let's cut up at the top. I was trying to get some length out of this, but I don't think I can. Okay. Alrighty, so we have a couple pieces of greenery. This one has little berry sort of, I mean, you know, it looks fresh, but it's not, it's plastic. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do one on the top and one on the bottom. So my goal is to go this way with this. We're creating the foundation at this point, so let's get some shape going. There's one, and we'll do this one on the bottom. All right. Okay, so that's what we have so far, just like that. And then these other little pieces we're going to come and fill in on the sides. So I teach, like I said, I teach the threes when it comes to greenery because that's what's going to give me the added texture. So this one greenery though has a couple of pieces that are slightly different. So that does help when you can find, you know, some that are, some of the hard work's done for you. All right, let's get that over there. So even though I put this last piece in, it looks like it's part of the same stem because we layered. All right, here we're going to come over on this side with this one. And the bow is your transition point and binding point. So everything is going to appear that it came like that. It's wrapped up in a bow, but it's really not. Let's do this one up here. And then we'll do this one over here. I'm always reshaping my bow. Like this stuff needs, let's get this one up here. Maybe this one. Okay, I've got one more longer piece. Feels like something needs to go right about there. Okay. That's good. And then let's get this spread out a little bit more. That looks good. All right, and then we have these little pieces that we can fill in wherever we need to. So I'm just going to put these to the side, and I'm going to use those last. All right, now moving on. We've got more greenery. This one is got the long needle pine, but not too long. What do they call this? Pine. That's not helpful. We know this is pine. It's not a long needle. It's short, but it reminds me of a long needle. This is going to give us some length. Okay, we can twirl this, maybe. Just dividing these. I feel like I'm going to have more control if I divide them. But some of them I could keep keep together, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's divide. All right, let's get this one under here. Get a little more glue. This one's going to be hanging upside down, so I want a little more glue on it. Okay, there's one. Okay, and then we're just going to keep popping these in throughout. I want to put one right through here. Hello, Louisiana. Thank you, Doris. I got my t-shirt from Greenery Market on their website. See how I'm just building up my foundation right now. Okay, so I'm going to come over, let's go over this way with this one. There's that. All right, and now I'm going to come over on this side a little bit more. Maybe right about there. Let's do a little bit over that way. I might not use all this. I'm layering these so that you don't see the insertion point. All right, let's get this guy. This is a big, long one. Let's see where we could put him. Maybe here? Looking good. Let's see, I feel like we need some more right through here. Let's get this moving up that way a little bit. All right, let's get him moving right about there. So I am going through and inserting it into the grain of the grapevine, well, where there's not a lot of glue. There. And then we're gonna bend it up into place. That fills that out a little bit more. And then let's do one more long piece. This would be pretty with pine cones, wouldn't it? Okay. Let me fix my bow. I might just put that back here. Let's see what that looks like back there. All right, now we're going to use our flowers. They are little baby poinsettias made out of felt, and then a little bit of iciness on them. You see that? That's pretty. Carlotta, hey girl. Yes, pine cones says Kelly. I was going to call you Kathy. Kelly says yes to pine cones. All right. So let's see. First thing I'm going to do is tear the bottom one off. And I want him, they're all called him, I don't know why. This is clearly not a him. This is pretty. That was so bad to say that. I didn't mean it like that. I meant it had some feminine qualities to it. How about that? The poinsettia. All right. Now we're going to put this one over here. All right, I want to be able to see it. So we've got that one there. I'm going to see if I can keep these together. And that way we can get a little spacing in with that. That's really pretty. Now we're going to work below the bow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that small one off. And then just make sure to open these up. Who buys their flower supplies online? Because you know when you get them online, they're going to be in bags and smashed. And you have to take the time to fluff so that you get that pretty natural look. Even though these are felt, you want them to look as real as possible. Are you a poinsettia fan? People either love them or hate them. Now this is going to be an interesting thing. We got a big fat ribbon in the way. All right, let's move this guy over that way, I think. All right, I'm going to go right here with this one. Okay. All right, and then we've got the 3 combo. Maybe right there. And I don't want it to look like they're all in a line, so I'm just moving these around a little bit. Right about there, maybe. That looks good. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and trim this shorter and roll that under. I'm not sure about this one yet. I'm just going to keep it right here for now. And then let's get some berries. So we'll put little pops of red throughout. Now, did you know that there are differences in reds? There's different colors. So we talked about that in our swag masterclass this past, was it this past weekend? I can't even remember. Everything is running together. We're doing so much. We're getting ready to go out of town, and I think that's throwing me off with everything. But we talked about the colors of red and how they're different. So when I'm pairing my colors together, I'm paying attention to if that red has more black in it or if it has more of an orangey undertone. I think that helps to make sure that they're coordinating. There's one. Let's go this way. I got this Santa Claus from Trendy Tree. Oh, thank you for the Christmas tree. Yeah, it's not finished yet. That's my goal. That's my goal, to finish that, teach that how to finish that off in the Wreath of the Month Club group this month. We're going to be decorating that together. So we've got that red berry over here. If you had some cardinals, that would be really pretty, don't you think? So So we taught how to put the ribbon and the tree topper on in the bow swag class. Not the swag, the bow making master class. And then we, so that's kind of got it started. And now I'm going to finish it off in the Wreath of the Month Club group. Just giving them, you know, instructions on how I would decorate it. I always like watching other people decorate their things, don't you? It gives me a lot of inspiration. Sometimes it's stuff I would never think to do, but then also it's sometimes, you know, it's stuff like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not my style. And then other times it just gives me idea of, they didn't do it that way, but what if we did it this different way? And so it just, you know, it opens up different, I don't know, just inspires me. If I weren't going out of town this weekend, I would be pulling out my Christmas tree stuff. Let's go this way with this. Oh, here's a long one. Let's do this one very long. Do you ever use pine cone wreaths as bases for your design? No, I don't think I've not used pine cone wreaths. Let's see, I was getting a phone call. I've not used pine cone wreaths as a base. Man, this thing is not clamping. Need something to, if you have too many pine cones, you don't really have anywhere to glue into. I like adding pine cones as an ornament though. Oh, that gives a little more length right down there. The berries. All right, let's do some on the sides. There's one here. Let's do one over here. Okay. I've got one more little piece of berry. Thank you, Cynthia Swank. Thank you, Mary. I'm glad you find our tutorials helpful. All right, I think I'm going to go right here with this one. It does help when you can see far back. Oh, that's a lot of glue. Hold on, it's dripping. Let me turn that down a little bit. So when you're making, make sure to step back a little bit. All right, I'm not loving that brown stem showing. So let's see what we can do to hide it. We have these little pieces that we can put a pick on. Remember these little pieces that fell off? Let's see if that's going to help any. Let's put that down close to it. has a little bit of frostiness on it, just like our poinsettias. I'm going to trim these relatively short and use to fill in, because our greenery was kind of long and long. How about that? It was long. See how that greenery fills in front of that little brown stem? That brown stem made it look too artificial. I'm going to put this one over here. I'm getting wrapped up in the glue. Let's go right here with this piece. I'm going to go over here with this one. I think I'll go back here with this one. So this just gives me a little bit more bulk to the base of it. Okay. So that looks good up at the top, and we're going to do another one on the bottom part. Just cut these little branches short. All right, so we've got, let's do one through here. And I'm going to do one down here. If you don't have a steel pick machine, just use wooden picks if they're needed. All right, I need one back here. I'm going to do this one back here because there's a little hole you can't see behind that ribbon. That fills that out. And then this last piece, I'm just going to put it here to sort of hide that wire that we use to attach the sign to the wreath. Okay, that looks good. All right, so now we have these little long pieces. So we have a couple over here. So now I'm going to add some on this side. The swag on my right, on this side, or over there. Those were made in our holiday swag class. So we taught people, you know, the members how to make them. They were watching online virtually, so they didn't even have to leave their homes. They got a lot of good education. And we've already been watching some people. They're sharing their beautiful designs. Some people have never made one before, and they took our class, and they're already knocking it out of the park their first time. I'm just so blown away. Okay, there's that one. So these are just going to help add to the texture. Let's see, I want this one to go up here. I think I want this one to come through here somehow. Give a little bit of a bend in them. That's pretty. Okay. Got that bow. Let me fix my bow now. Okay, we need more ribbon. More ribbon. Let's do some ribbon on the bottom. And try to stay clear so I don't cut myself again. I'm gonna go right through there with it. There's one. I'm able to look in the monitor and get a good visual, but if I didn't have a camera on, I would be walking across the room. Where do I need the next piece? I think I'm going to put the other one right about there. Okay, so we've got some ribbon through here. There's this one back there. And I'm going to go ahead and add one over on this side. I feel like the ribbon really adds a lot. It makes that bow a little bit more significant, you know? It's also optional if you don't want to do it. You could have just stopped at the greenery. Pretty. Let's see this guy. I think we're there. How fun. A really pretty vintage Santa wreath in the traditional colors. Yes, it definitely, Kelly, adds more depth for sure. Great point. I use Gorilla Glue, correct. Y'all are so awesome helping each other answer questions. Let's see. Beautiful, along with the tree. Oh, it does look cute. Yep, it's available for replay. Yes, you can watch it replayed. Yep. Love the poinsettias. Mother-in-law used them, says Gina. Aw. All right, you guys, I think that's it. Are y'all excited for Christmas decorating and Christmas making? I know. I know. I am. I mean, I get started and I'm like, for me, it's hard to get started. Like, ugh. But then I get started and I'm excited and I can't ever stop. I'm decorating all the way up until December 24th. And, but I'm also eager to take it down because we start so soon at our house. So elegant. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. Yes, it is my pleasure to share my talent with you guys. Don't be afraid to start. Try new things. It did take me a while to get, I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, years. And so it does take a while to get, started and used to it. And the confidence comes from doing. So don't be afraid to start. You have to start. Well, I mean, you can be afraid, but do it scared, okay? Even if you're scared to cut your ribbon, just cut it, right? You can fix anything with glue. You saw that I glued pieces in. If you don't have enough ribbon streamers, you can glue more in. If you put too many ribbon streamers in, you could just cut them out. Yeah, everything is fixable with the hot glue, so don't be afraid to just start. This is going to be the year that you have an amazing looking home. Now, you don't have to buy all new things. I mean, you could just repurpose some of your older things. Maybe you have an older wreath that you just want to zhuzh up a little bit, so you can take an older wreath and then add some newer berries or poinsettias or something to, and have a whole new look. Right, so it doesn't always have to be new. Thank you, Mary, so much. All right, you guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. I won't be seeing you tomorrow because we'll be flying to Kansas City. So if you're in the Kansas City area, I'll be there for a day. And then we'll see y'all next week.